here is a map view of what is to come in Carnes on West Emory Road. The builders are calling it Belltown, a multi-generational community. John, the Highlander Center began its early days in Knoxville. Torn down by urban renewal, they moved to Grundy County. Now they are in Newmarket, continuing the legacy of civil rights leaders and training people to improve their communities. John, Robin, I checked in with Anderson County today and I learned they've made some changes this year to keep kids safe. Coming up at 5:30, we will hear more about why the 8th of August is celebrated in Tennessee and how the historic Mabry Hazen House honor this day. Any amount of debt relief is some weight off the shoulders of any borrower. President Joe Biden's plan only applies to federal loans. Just this week, 2 women in Tennessee were attacked while jogging. Sadly, Eliza Fletcher in Memphis died at the hands of her attacker. A woman here in Knoxville was randomly assaulted in Market Square on Tuesday morning. Over the years, city leaders say they have made it easier for people to get around Knoxville without a car. Now a vendor by the name of Bird will bring more electric scooters to the city.
10 News reporter Jacinta Render explains what is causing the shortage. Jacinta?
Beth, for over 2 years, we've been dealing with shortages. First, it was the toilet paper, then baby formula, and now tampons. The YWCA says this will affect all women, but especially those who live in poverty. When people walk down feminine care aisles in stores, some shelves may look like this, half empty of tampons.
I've noticed a low stock, definitely in period products in general, not only tampons, but pads as well.
Melina Corzo is the director of communications at the YWCA for the East Tennessee region.
So I don't know if there's something also going on with shipping and transporting. But that's also been low as well, at least in my area.
Experts say various things play into the shortage, including labor shortages, the high cost of raw materials, and transportation. Corzo says the YWCA provides feminine care products to women in their shelters. As of right now, they have menstrual cycle products available, but as the tampon shortage is expected to last a while, there are some concerns.
If this is not something that gets figured out within the next couple of months, this could very easily impact our organization as well.
When people do come across tampons in the store, now the cost is much higher. Bloomberg reports that the price of tampons has increased by almost 10%. Corzo says the high prices and the shortage could impact women who experience what is called period poverty the most.
For example, some of these women, they may either have to choose between food or period products for that particular month. So that's what that ends up being.
Now, Beth, not all brands have been affected by this shortage. For example, Kimberly Clark, the makers of You by Kotex, says they have not been heavily impacted. Procter & Gamble, the maker of Tampax, said it is working with retail partners to maximize the availability of products.
All right, Jacinta, thank you. We appreciate the update.
One Knoxville woman shares her story of survival with 10 News reporter Jacinta Render. Jacinta?
John, unfortunately, each year in the United States, 10 million people are estimated to experience domestic violence. I talked with one survivor who shared her story, hoping to inspire others to get out just like she did.
You know, I'm here today to say I survived it.
Over 10 years ago, Tiffany got out of what she says was an abusive marriage.
I experienced domestic violence, the mental and the physical abuse.
The mother of 3 kids says the relationship did not start out that way.
He spoiled me, he romanced me, he took care of me.
The marriage took a turn for the worse during a hard time in her life.
I can say right after my mother passed in 2006, everything started going left. He started changing. At that time, we was probably in a marriage for 5 or 6 years.
Tiffany is not alone. 4 in 10 Black women will experience some form of abuse. The Family Justice Center says they've seen the impacts locally.
We're definitely seeing a higher than representative percentage of the victims who come here for services are part of the Black community.
There are several factors that contribute. Research shows Black women are less likely to turn in an abusive partner to law enforcement. Tiffany says after being married for 8 years, enough was enough. With help from the Family Justice Center, she is now a survivor.
Justice Center really helped me a whole lot, but I can say I'm stronger than I was before.
Tiffany hopes her story can inspire all women who are dealing with domestic violence to get help.
Young girls, older, whatever the case may be, you're not by yourself.
While domestic violence disproportionately affects Black women, advocates say it can happen to anyone. John.
Jacinta Render with that story. Thank you, Jacinta. And reporter Jacinta Render looks into what this impact means to both you and your family. Jacinta?
John, it looks like the main dish served by many on Thanksgiving Day is going to cost a hefty penny. Right now, the average price per pound is $2. That is up by $1.15 from last year. Health experts say this outbreak could last all winter long.
We'll see higher incidence in the colder months.
Dr. Marcy Souza from the University of Tennessee's College of Veterinary Medicine says luckily the avian flu does not harm people.
So it's a virus that affects birds, but every once in a while it will have a more dangerous strain, which is referred to as highly pathogenic avian influenza, and that can actually cause death in particularly birds such as chickens and turkeys.
The U.S. Department of Agriculture says right now there's an avian flu outbreak spreading across the country, hitting commercial farmers hard, so far killing 47 million turkeys. People can expect to pay a higher price for turkeys this holiday season because of the shortage. Prices are already up 73% from last year.
So it's really impacted us and certainly the people that we're feeding.
Second Harvest, a food bank in East Tennessee, provides Thanksgiving turkeys to people in need.
There's about 550 partners in 18 counties that feed the needy directly.
Their spokesperson, Elaine Strano, says the cost of turkeys already has them over their annual budget.
Of course, we're spending more, and that means we have to be more aggressive about fundraising.
While people will have to pay more for the popular holiday dish, Dr. Souza says there are no public health concerns.
If there are commercial plants that have avian influenza outbreaks, those birds don't make it into the market.
The last avian flu outbreak was in 2015, killing around 50 million turkeys. Research shows the avian flu has not touched any commercial flocks in Tennessee, but it has been found in 130 birds. John.
Jacinta, thanks very much.